Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we are going to do some workouts. It is leg day, one of the most important days of your week. First things first, you need to stretch. Remember, for each stretch, you will want to hold for 10 to 15 seconds, and you are going to want to do each leg twice. Stretch 1, hamstrings. Spread your legs. The side you extend to, you want to keep as flat as possible. Your non-extending side, you can lift up slightly, but try to keep that flat as well. You are going to want to climb down the leg while keeping your shoulders back. Try to point your toe. It's even better if you can reach your toe and you can pull it towards you. Lean on down, and you are going to want to hold that for your 10 to 15 seconds. And once you're done, you can slowly come back up the leg, nice and relaxed, and then extend to your other side. Climb down your leg, arch your toe back, leg flat. If you can grab your toe, go ahead and grab that and lean down. You're going to want to hold that for 10 to 15 seconds and come back up. Stretch 2, groin butterfly stretch. You're going to want to bring your feet together. You're going to want to pull them in as close as it feels comfortable. You are going to want to put your hands up on your toes and put the elbows onto your leg and push down as good as you can. Now with this stretch, you might feel a good amount of pain, so you might be up here. Don't worry about it too much. Over time, you can get lower. Over time, you can pull them in closer. That's all part of stretching and having a lot more movement to your body and your joints. You are going to want to do the same thing. You're going to push down as much as it is comfortable and hold that for 10 to 15 seconds and then come back up and relax. And you will want to repeat that again, so we'll go ahead and do that. Come down, push down, make sure your back is nice and straight, and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Stretch 3. Raised or lying hip raise. For this one, you're going to want to lay back flat, shoulders down. For the lying portion of it, you're going to want to bring one leg up into your seated position. And one of two ways, you can either start to slide this in and start to feel it in the glutes in your hip and come back out and relax. Or you can simply put a little bit of pressure and push the leg back. Now, either way you do it, you do want to hold for your 10 to 15 seconds. And then you are going to want to release and come back down into standard position. Bring your left leg up into seated position and do the same thing. Either slide in and hold, and you can either come back out and slightly give a little press. Now, for the raised position, you're going to want to do somewhat of the similar thing, but for this time, you're going to bring a leg up to 90 degrees, and you're going to come into that same chair position. Now, for this one, the best way to do it is to actually grab and pull in until it feels comfortable. Hold there for your 10 to 15 seconds, and you can release, come down, and switch legs up to your 90 degrees. Into your chair position. You do want to make sure that you stay fairly flat. You don't want to be all the way in. You do want to be out as far as you can. You can go ahead and grab the leg and push in. Now this is a little bit more advanced compared to the seated version. For me, this one feels much better, so if you are flexible enough to do it, I would highly recommend this. And you're going to want to hold for your normal 10 to 15 seconds and release. Stretch 4, lying quad stretch. For this stretch, it is normally done standing up, but I'm kind of showing an all on the ground stretching so you don't have to get up and down. It works the same way, it's just preference. For this, you're going to want to lay on your side. You're going to put your bottom arm straight out, legs straight out. You're going to want to lift your top leg up slightly so it is parallel with your body. Bend back to grab the foot and stretch back just as you would if you were standing. Once you do get to your comfortable position, You're going to want to hold for 10 to 15 seconds. And slowly release. Come down and switch sides. Roll up on your side. Your arm is going to go straight out. Your legs are straight. Come up until you're parallel. Bend back, grab that foot, and reach back. Once you're at your comfortable position, you're going to hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Last but not least, stretch number 5, calf stretches. Now for this stretch, you're going to want to get into a position as if you were pushing against the wall. So you are going to want to kind of stand up a little bit. You're going to want to get in a good position with your back nice and straight. You want to make sure your shoulders are arched backwards. And you are simply going to drop a knee. Once your knee is dropped, you're going to want to drive your opposing foot straight down into the ground. Now you can either hold this for 10 to 15 seconds and switch, and then hold that one for 10 to 15 seconds. Or if you don't want to be very static on this stretch, you can rotate back and forth every few seconds, which will get you the same results. And once you get a few good stretches in, you are ready to go. Alright guys, so now that we're all warmed up and ready to go, I want to talk a little bit about your sets and reps. Typically the standard thing would be if you are working out and you're trying to build mass, trying to build that muscle, you're going to want to do around the 6 to 9 reps with about 3 to 5 sets. Versus if you're trying to cut down and lose weight, you're going to want to go around the 12 to 15 reps with the same 3 to 5 sets. Since we are working at home, it changes it up a little bit. Typically, personally, I like to do 4 sets and I do 10 reps each of whatever workout I am doing. For me, it's just an at-home atmosphere that typically works out pretty good and you will get good results. So here we go. Oh my God, look how muscular this dog is. Those aren't fat rolls, people. That's because he's in a bulking stage. Oh yeah, that's the face of a true bodybuilder. Alright guys, workout number 1. These are church squats. These are one of my favorites. So let's get started. To begin, you're going to put your feet close together. For some people it may be hard, but over time, you can bring your feet in. If you have to step out a little bit, it's okay. For this demonstration, I'm going to do it with my feet in. You're going to make sure your shoulders are back and your back is straight. I personally like the praying position, hence the name church squat. You can leave your arms out, that's totally fine as well. Personally, for me, I do like the praying position. You are going to want to bend down to a 90-degree angle. Once you're at the 90, you're going to want to come back up. Now, a key tip to remember is when you come down, you don't want to keep your legs flared out. That is not good. You want to keep your legs nice and parallel with the rest of your body and then come back up. Now you're going to remember you're going to want to do these about 10 times and we're going to want to do 3 sets of these. Alright guys, workout number 2 is a side lunge. For this one I like to start out about shoulder width apart. What you're going to want to do is extend your foot out to a comfortable position. You don't want to stay real close, then you won't have any movement. But you don't want to go so far that you're already overdoing it and it's going to ruin the stretch. So you're going to stay shoulder foot apart and you're going to step out to your comfortable zone. If you like to keep your arms out, that is fine. If you're ready to put your arms on your hips, that is fine as well. You are going to want to make sure your planted foot stays straight. Personally, I like to point the toe in the direction I am facing. You're going to want to lean down until your actual thigh is about flat with the ground. Here it's about flat, my toe is pointed out, my back is straight. And after you hold for your 10 to 15 seconds, you can come back up, bring your foot back in, and then out to the other side. Toe pointed, lean into it, back and shoulders straight. Hold for your 10 to 15 seconds, and come back up. Now that is 1 rep, so you are going to want to repeat that. So you're going to want to come back over, your toe is out, you're going to want to lean into it at about 90 degrees, and come back up and repeat. Alright guys, workout number 3 is the box jump. You're going to want to find something typically that can support your weight. I don't have anything here at the moment, and I've done this before, so I'm not too worried about having to stand up on it. But in case you do get stuck up, you do want to make sure it is a solid platform that you can stay up on. So here we go. So what you're going to do is stay shoulder width apart again. For this one personally, I like to keep my hands at level or even at prayer point. You're going to start with one foot up. Now a key thing to remember is you don't want a box so high where your foot's already up here where it would be hard to kind of hop up onto it. You also don't want a box that's way down here because that's really defeating your purpose. So you're going to have a box where it makes your leg at about 90 degrees, and you're simply going to jump and switch feet. Just like that. Keep your hands here, kind of helps for balance. You can play with where it's got to be, but we're just going to rotate and rotate and rotate. Now you can really get into this one, you know, play with speeds, however you want to do it. For this, I like to go for 15 seconds. Alright guys, workout number 4. We are almost there, more than halfway done. For this one, we are going to do weighted standard squats. For this, you're going to want to find anything around your house that you think is suitable to use as weight. A vacuum, Yoda, multiple bowling balls, or you can use standard weights. Alright guys, so for weighted standard squats, it's pretty similar to the church squats, except this time your feet are going to be shoulder width apart. Personally, I like to point the toes just a little bit. You don't want to be way out, you don't want to be in. Flat is fine, or just a little bit out, it works as well. You're going to want to make sure your back is straight, and you're simply going to squat down to your 90-degree position. Hold for a second, and come back up. Down, and back up. Now if your weight's too heavy and you find yourself squatting and bending over, this is bad. Lower your weight. So we're going to continue back straight and back up. And we're going to do this for our 10 reps. And once you're done with your 10 reps, you can take a 30-second break, and then you're going to continue on to your 3 to 5 sets. Alright guys, workout number 5. After this, only one more to go. For this one, we're going to do single leg hip raise, making sure that your back and shoulders remain on the ground. And from here, you are simply going to lift your lower back and your glutes up off the ground, like this, and keeping your shoulders pressed, arch back, toe bent. Hold for your 10 to 15 seconds, and back down. That's 1. Continue back up. And the more you go, the more you can push up, is the more you get a little bit more flexible. And back down. Once you continue this and you do your 10 to 15 reps, you're going to want to go ahead and switch sides. You want to put your leg back up parallel with your toe facing back. And continue to raise your hip up, holding for your 10 to 15 seconds. And you're going to want to follow this through with your 10 to 15 reps. And once you complete those, make sure you do your 3 to 5. Alright guys, last but not least, workout number 6. Let's get it done. Alright, so this one is going to be alternating squat jumps. It's basically going to be the same thing as our standard squat, except we're going to add a little rotate and spin to it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Same thing, we're going to keep our legs parallel with our shoulders. Whether your arms want to go out, up front, kind of just relax, keep you balanced, whatever works best for you. You can point your toes out just a little bit, that's fine. Do the same thing, back straight, shoulders back. We're going to want to squat. And then when we come back up, we're going to want to explode up and rotate. And come back down. Now you do want to make sure when you are doing this that you're not landing flat-footed. You do want to make sure that you land softly on your toes. You really don't want to have there be any sound when you do it. So let me show you what a couple look like here. So get in our position, squat down, explode up, land soft, and we're going to continue. Now with this one, it is pretty natural for your feet. So if you actually watch when I land, my feet aren't always perfectly straight with each other. They might space out a little bit, which is okay. As long as you try to keep them tight and you're not, starting to go crazy with it. You do want to kind of stay in your tight area and continue. Now these do get tiring and pretty sore pretty quick. So a good thing to do is you can add a little step in between there, to kind of just push yourself and keep going a little bit. So that'll look like this. You can see how I'm just adding just a little bit of a step to it. Getting the same effect, just not a full jump. And you're going to do your 3 to 5 sets with your 10 to 15 reps. Alright guys, now those are a couple good workouts that you can do for when you're at home. If you can't make it out to the gym, can't afford a gym, those are a few good and a few of my favorite leg workouts. It's what I always did when I used to be a little bit more bulky than I am now. So after surgery, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. We're going to be watching my body transformation. I'm sitting at 155 right now. My goal is to get back to 180, 185. So stay tuned, comment, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and let's see what we can do.